Well, hello guys, my name is Clay. Well, look at this picture. Like every kind of animal, from land animal to sea animal to flying kinds of animal. I don't care what kind of trait are they, what kind of species are they? Are they endangered or not? Or are they extinct or not? Every kind of animals has the same color pattern. Dark, middle, and then light on a belly. Well, why do we have that kind of structure when those kind of animals are not even a little bit related to? Well, let's talk about this topic for today. Well, in the 1800s, that time a lot of biologists were struggling on this topic, and the answers come from really unexpected people. In the 20th century, an artist called Thayer explained this as obliterate shading. Well, why do we call this obliterate shading? Well, Thayer is an artist. He has a different vision than people, that is, scientists or biologists. So he said, when you are drawing a 3D picture, like in real life, then you will need shadow. Shadow is the main key to the three-dimensional shapes. And if there's no shadowing, then that means it's just a two-dimensional shape. So in that time, Thayer have explained that imagine there's a kind of animal that looks like this, right? On the top of them is the black. In the middle of the body is their main color, the color gray. And down here is a lighter version of the color red or a color white. So this is just like shadowing in painting, and he called it obliterate shading. He said that these kinds of animals are trying to camouflage their own shadow. But this idea isn't completely new to people like us. Because you can see a lot of kinds of animals, like a caterpillar, they also has that trait, right? And when they are trying to camouflage their own shadow, it makes them to look just like a boring leaf. Thayer started to explain it into even bigger kinds of animals, from ostrich to even kinds of usual ducks. And Thayer painted a picture of two kinds of duck. One duck that doesn't follow the same pattern of the shadow, and one duck that looks completely invisible because it has that related kind of shadow trait. And that was really confusing to a lot of people around. But it has been highly accepted because the idea was kinda correct and it was obviously true by its look, right? But it's not completely true as everybody think. Because if you're talking about a land animal, then that's okay, because usually a lot of predators can't see their prey while they are camouflaging, right? But sea animals don't use the same light pattern. They also have shadows, right? Like even sharks have that same kind of pattern. But when you are hunting under the sea, when you're diving down in the water, light comes in every kind of direction, from your left, your right, your upper, or your under too. And when a shark, imagine you are a shark and you see a fish as your prey. You are the predator. And when you glide up to look at it, then the fish, in that time, you will look at it in a dark light. And so the fish color will start to get dark because the light's around it. Well, when you even go near, then the fish will start to observe the light from the kind of water. So that means it's just like it's invisible in the own water. And you just go away thinking, I don't see any kind of seafood at all. So sea animals don't use the same pattern called obliterate shading like ours do. And even these days, a lot of kinds of animals, from jellyfish to sperms to and some kind of squids too. They also have the same kind of pattern with other kinds of sea animal, that they will have a kind of organs inside their body that helps them to light up. And that is something really hard to understand, and biologists are even trying to dive deeper by using Thayer's old theory into sea animals. But that doesn't seem to work with sea animal at all. But in the end, if it is for land animal, then it's probably correct, and it's highly accepted by a lot of people around, because it was actually kind of good to think about, right? It was kind of true. And so you see, today we have talked about this topic. Why do every kinds of animals have the same kind of pattern even when they are not related to? And we just know the reason for why do they have this pattern. We didn't know where did this trait come from, and why do all of them have this without even relating to each other's. And also, there are a lot of other kinds of theories that are true. Like imagine the penguin. The black color of it helps it to get warmer, because usually when it's black, right? Black will absorb from the sun more. Absorb light from the sun more. So when the penguin is cold, it will face its back as the black color to the sun, like when you are facing your back to your light bulb, right? Then the back of them will start to get warmer too. So nobody know what reason does these kinds of animals have, and why is this trait accepted. But as usual persons in this time, we can just know that this is obliterate shading, and we doesn't know anything further. But maybe in the future, biologists will start to explore more, and maybe will give us the best answer. Well, I hope that it is a really interesting video for you today, and goodbye.